Welcome to another updates video. These updates are for the month of June. I'll first go through the new updates and features that have been added. Then at the end of the video, I'll go through the fixes to any errors. The points analysis report can now output to PDF, Excel, printer, and preview. The earning code analysis can now output to preview, printer, PDF, and Excel. If the amount of points on a record has been overridden, the attendance exception analysis report will now display this override by showing brackets around the points. New policy under the schedule, budget schedule, when activated, will allow for creating budgets per department or position, or both. The hours worked analysis now has a feature to include the budgeted hours in the report. The employee schedule summary report now has features to include the budgeted hours for all positions, variance under budget or over budget. The schedule summary also has the option to now include actual hours worked, which comes in handy when comparing the budgets. Here we can see for the RN position we budgeted 480 hours. We scheduled 3,500. We were over budget by 2,992, and here we can see the actual hours worked. With page breaks enabled on the Payroll Export Audit List report, each page will now summarize the earnings on that page. Time banks using the accrual formula, which increase by hours worked, will now take into account the previous hours override entry in the employee profile. A new policy has been added under the Calculations category. Ignore time overrides during time scan rounding. With this policy activated, the lunch, deductions, and end-of-day rounding will ignore time overrides. We have a new policy under time banking. Allow manual edit to opening balance. When this policy is activated, the users will be able to change the opening balance that is automatically entered when a time bank has been added to an employee. We have updated the employee self-service so that when an employee tries to request a day, the reason is left blank. This way, the employee will not accidentally select the wrong reason. If the reason is left blank, the self-service will say, "Please select a reason." In ATG, we updated the software so that ZK clocks can now have the name treated as a department code. In Employee Tracker version 10, the Clear button has been highlighted in red to remind the user to clear before running the payroll. That sums up all the updates and new features. We will now go through the various fixes and error patches. In the Employee Schedules report, with the flexible layout, the Fit-to-Page option now outputs the report faster. With stat banking turned on, the holiday pay run will now obey the maximum limit in the time bank and will create 2 records for a partial banking situation. The hours worked analysis now outputs the scheduled time correctly when this is enabled. Accrual formulas set to an amount of time now work for the percent and worked accrual types. The headcount analysis now correctly filters out premium hours for regular time and a half and double time, avoiding a double counting scenario. Fixed an invalid use of null error that could occur on the yearly attendance analysis. Fixed an error on the employee schedule set to summary that would occur if the actual hours was not turned on. Fixed a rounding error that would occur on the exception analysis when outputting piecework.